What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Badlands Brewing Company, and they are out of Caledon, Ontario, Canada, and this is their GAAMA, the 2024 release. So this is a Hazy IPA that comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, I believe the liquid inside this vessel is approximately 7 weeks old. And the reason I say that is, as you can see, this is in a one-stop brew shop 16 fluid ounce crowler, which I had filled about a week ago. However, the beer was released at the brewery in Canada back on, I believe it was April 5th of 2024. I'm reviewing this one at the tail end of May, so right around 7 months, or 7 weeks as far as the beer goes. However, it's been in the crowler for a week. I love the One Stop Brew Shop. They have some awesome beers, especially on tap. So it's really cool they have 16 fluid ounce crowlers, because if you just want to pick up a single can, you can make it happen. So Badlands, this is the first beer I'm reviewing from Badlands on the channel. However, it is not the first beer I had from them. About a month ago, and a couple beers on tap at the Brewed and Bottled beer shop in Lewiston. We're starting to get Badlands here in New York State, thanks to, I believe, One Stop. And yeah, the two that I had on tap, fantastic. So I thought I would pick this one up. They have not released this one, I think, since 2021. They said they haven't released it in 3 years. The reason for that is this one is brewed with Galaxy and Nectaron. It used to be Galaxy and Amarillo. However, they couldn't find good crops of either Galaxy or Amarillo over the past couple years. So this year they found some Galaxy they enjoyed, and they switched out the Amarillo for Nectaron. And here we are. I'm really looking forward to this because Badlands is one of the more hyped Canadian breweries when it comes to hazy beers. I have a lot of Canadian friends in the beer community that have said really good things about Badlands. They think they're like top tier as far as the haze is concerned. And I had two, small sample size, and they were both fantastic. So I'm hoping this is good. And I also hope that, you know, it went from draft in the keg to the can. Hopefully it's not oxidized. Hopefully it held up. It is 7 weeks old, so it's not like uber fresh, but we'll see. Anyway, let's give it a crack here, as I did, and give it a pour. Good carbonation, it seems. Maybe not the great carbonation, but pretty good. It's looking fine. Maybe a little bit darker, maybe slight oxidation. Oh, doesn't taste like that though. A little bit of cheat there. We'll throw this over here. So yeah, I would say, to be honest with you, it does have the look of a little bit of being oxidized. Just a smidge. It might look worse on camera. In person, I'll tell you right now. Hold up to light. It just has a more of a darker, almost a slightly like off orange color, maybe a touch of like a very slight grayness to it. But honestly, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, I've had much worse like oxidized looking beers. But as a whole, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. Good carbonation. It has about a finger of a off-white, creamy looking head. Hazy and turbid as you would want. Has a very deep orange look to it, but again, doesn't look all that oxidized. I've had some Hop Butcher beers look like this. I've had some others, so it really matters about the nose and the taste, because I've had some slightly oxidized beers that still were fantastic, and some beers that look like this that weren't oxidized. So we'll see. Nose. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Whew, not oxidized in the nose. Dude, this is a beautiful mixture of crushed sweet pineapple and like candied stone fruit, like peach, apricot, nectarine. It is Nectaron. I usually get nectarine or like an apricot or something out of it. Definitely stone fruit heavy, but it's almost like, it almost has like the nose of those candied jellies that have like the crystallized sugar on top. You get like the orange slices. It was like, picture that, but like a peach, not even peach gummy rings. It's more of like an authentic stone fruit character, but with like a little bit added sweetness. Again, that could be the oxidation. A lot of times when I have oxidized beers, it's a little bit sweeter, a little bit of malty sensation, but that's not really what's happening in the nose. It just smells like straight on candied fruits. It also smells like it might have a little hop burn. It's 7 weeks old, a little bit of like a green astringency in the nose. Oh man, that actually smells really good. Oh, I just got like a burst of like a guava and a passion fruit. Could be again the Galaxy. Yeah, this smells very vibrant with the fruits, more candied than juicy, not over the top in terms of what I perceive the sweetness is going to be on the palate. There's no, I mean, there's a little bit of like that hop burn, little green astringency, but there's no like floral, piney, earthy thing going on. It's just kind of all about the fruits. Anyway, this smells really good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's nice. There's this really cool thing that wasn't getting on the nose that I just got on the finish. Carbonation is perfect. It's like mild to moderately carbonated. So as far as the mouthfeel is concerned, beautiful carbonation. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, it's creamy, great mouthfeel as well. I mean, just fantastic mouthfeel as a whole. The body, 6.5%, it's like lower side of medium, approaching medium. So what I said in the nose pretty much is carried over in the taste. But I got to keep it a buck with you, right? One hundo. There is a touch, like a mild oxidation level going on here. And the reason why I can tell that is because there's a little bit, and this is what I get with oxidized hop forward, typically hazy IPAs. I mean, look at the color. The color, again, I don't know how it's going to look on camera, but it definitely has a darker kind of orange look. Maybe a slight tinge of grayness, right? However, on the taste, it doesn't really have like a big malty sensation, but it has a more of confectionery vanilla kind of vibe to it, which I've gotten before with oxidized beers. However, it's not over the top. It's just noticeable a little bit. But anyway, body's nice, mouthfeel's fantastic. The taste, the nose really did carry over. Like front to back, there is a big kind of candied essence to the beer. It has candied, again, it's more like crushed pineapple into like those jelly slices. Again, it's more stone fruit, so you're talking the peach, the apricots, the nectarines, maybe even a little bit of like an orange and tangerine vibe. There's an underlying very slight malt character, like a breadiness. On the finish, though, there is no hop burn, but there is nice, like a green kind of grassy finish, almost slightly earthy, which is nice. The one thing this doesn't have, which a lot of hazies don't, because that's what the style dictates. It doesn't really have any bitterness. It's very mildly bitter, but it does have a semi to full-on dry kind of finish. Almost got right there just like a Hawaiian punch or kind of fruit punch vibe on that last sip. And then on the finish, I said this right after a couple sip or two, and then I didn't expand on that as I continue to drink it. There's this really nice on the finish as well, over-ripened green melon, like a honeydew, mostly like a honeydew melon, maybe a touch of watermelon vibes, more of like a honeydew, I'd say like an over-ripened honeydew melon. As you can see, I'm drinking this, no issues. Now, is this my favorite of the three I've had from Badlands? It is not. I forget the two. I think I had Dora in their April 2024 double IPA. Now, they do these double IPAs that are just basically the month and the year. So they have April 2024 this year, or last month they had May 2024. Now they have June 2024. And the reason why I'm saying this month in June is not because I'm reviewing this in June, because by the time you see this, it'll probably be like early to mid-June. But anyway, and that was really good. The April 2024 was really good. But the Dora I had was an explosion. I think that was like 6.5 or 7%. It was fucking phenomenal. This isn't as good as either of those, but it's not far off. And I think, the oxidation has played a role. Now, again, went straight from the draft into the crowler. It's been in the crowler for I think it's been like 6 or 7 days. So, it is what it is, but it is canned, and it was canned quite well. It has good carbonation. So it sometimes happens. But again, it's not like super oxidized or anything. It just has a little bit of oxidation going on. I would say this, if not for that touch of oxidation, this would be easily in the 4.25 range. I'd probably go like 4.25, 4.3. That's how much I like the flavors. However, I think that while I love the candied fruit, the over-ripened honeydew, the crushed pineapple, the drinkability's here, the dryness is nice. I mean, I wish there was a little bit more bitterness, but I think it's nice. The that slight like vanilla confectionery sweetness that I know that's oxidized, I think it definitely knocks it down a bit, but I still think this is pretty fucking good. So, from the One Stop Brew Shop, from Badlands, their GAAMA, the 2024 release, I am going to give this one right here I'll go high 4 out of 5, I'll go 4.1. I think that's fair. Again, I think if this was fresh and a can right from Badlands, this is probably 4.25, 4.3. So keep that in mind. I'm giving it a little bit of brownie points saying that because I do think this is slightly oxidized. I think if I would have left this in the can for like another couple weeks or maybe up to a month, this would be full on oxidized or probably a drain pour. But right now it just has a touch of it. It's just definitely going to start going bad at some point, so I'm glad I drank it now. And just so you know, they write down, the beer, all that stuff that's in here, but because of the beer sweating and then putting it on fresh, it kind of leaked or rubbed off. As you can see, there's some remnants. Like I can make out this is 6.5%. Style, I think it just says IPA, and then the brewing the beer is like completely smudged. But trust me, it's GAAMA the 2024 release from Badlands. Price point availability, here's where it goes a little bit sideways, but again, you got to take everything in consideration. At the brewery, I checked, these are $26 a 4-pack Canadian. You do the translation, you do the conversion, Joe. Yeah, words. You do the conversion, it's like 19 or 20 bucks American, a 4-pack, which is kind of the going rate for, maybe not a 6.5% hazy, that those are more like the $16, $18 realm. But here I paid $9 for this. So I paid an extra $4. Now keep in mind, it's on draft, it's in a crowler. No matter where you get a crowler from, at least the places I shop, it's usually $1 or $2 more just for putting it in a crowler from the draft. Then take into consideration, we're getting it imported into the US, into New York State. That's another couple bucks. However, I do think if this was in a regular can from Badlands, it'd probably be more in like the $7 realm, maybe $7.50 or something, which again, paying a couple more bucks to get something that is available in another country, even though we're connected, it's still, all the fees and stuff with importing beers and whatnot. So yeah, $9, not cheap, but however, if you're in Canada, you're in Ontario, you can go to the brewery, it's going to be cheaper than $9 a can American, let's just say that. And availability, I have no idea with Badlands outside. I think they're only available in New York State as far as being in the US. However, if you're in Ontario and maybe some other provinces provinces? This is not Providence, Rhode Island, Joe. Anyway, if you're in, like, let's say you're in like Alberta or, another place like that, or maybe out on the East Coast, and they can bring in Badlands stuff, they might, but you got to drive up to the brewery or be in Ontario to pretty much get your hands on their stuff for the most part. So anyway, if there's any of my Canadian friends out there that watch this review, let me know what you thought about this one. Now that I look at it from like the distance, like you might be like, Joe, that doesn't look oxidized. And now I'm looking at it, doesn't really look that oxidized. It looked worse when I first poured it. It definitely, is a little bit darker, but like I've had some beers that look straight gray in the fucking glass. Yeah, it just has a touch of oxidation, just a touch, a noticeable touch. It's like, hey, yeah, it has a little bit of that confectionery vanilla kind of slight maltiness, but it doesn't really detract from the beer too much. So I'm going to stick with my 4.1 out of 5. 6.5%, you really can't tell. Really good beer. So again, anybody who's had this or anything from Badlands, what do you think about them? If we're going to start getting more distro from them, I'm definitely going to grab their stuff. And along with, we're supposed to get Third Moon stuff. I just had a beer on tap the other day at Brewed and Bottled that they had. It was a collaboration beer, but it was brewed from Third Moon, and it was delicious. So I hope we get Third Moon. I hope we get Badlands. We'll be getting steady distro of Bellwoods and Blood Brothers and whatnot. So I can't wait. So anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.